Yeah, man.
That's hot shit right there, man.
So what we gonna do? We gonna dub?
News networks are not even getting clicks like that. So this shows like there's an opportunity for this, what we're doing here on this show.
Look up something in back check, kind of like cross reference.
Yeah, I should put the.
You say you looked that shit up. That's the name of your show.
Yeah,
that's right. What really drew me in.
Remember, we want you to be an activist, and don't take our word for it. Look that shit up. Pulley. Going. Hope I don't get in trouble for playing that last video. I probably shouldn't have played that shit. I'm always testing the damn waters, bro. That shit gonna get me.
You are now
Who and what are we gonna complain about tonight?
You are now
Good evening, my little one. I shall make you psychotic.
Mommy, what does psychotic mean?
Back and forth, and you know I'm swinging bows. I'm about to change course, go home and changing clothes. I'm looking at this bitch, it seems like she's saying no. I'ma hit the streets, though I'm supposed to be laying low. I'm following the buzz, never know which way it go. Keep on bringing heat, cause the G.O.D. say it so. Sailing on the beat, so you can't chop and play it so. She got me for a piece, now I'm about to pay the hoe. Stop smoking, switch the sweets, where I gotta take a toke. Now I got a little guac, now I gotta make it grow. Keep on thinking we some hee-haw, mom, pop folks. We gon' hit you in your teeth, we keep a buzz all closed. I've been on it 5 days, so I'm sitting sideways. Now get out of my way, or I'ma hit your Hyundai. Take a lick on my dick if you don't like what I say. I'm the shit with the shit, so we gon' do this my way. And we just getting started, so go on, say your grace. I'ma eat you rappers, though I won't enjoy the taste. I'm closing your estates while you falling on the stakes. I'm rolling on the bass while you rolling on the face. Sitting on the place, not knowing I'ma take your fast, slowing and it's fake. So I'm gonna wait. Time will come, dog will be done. I saw it and I said that it was great.
Mommy, what does psychotic
Hey, how y'all doing out there? Remember, we want you to be an activist, and don't take our word for it. Look that shit up. Please. We're back. I apologize for being late. Having a lot going on lately. Let me send a text right quick, you guys. Boom. Boom. Okay. All right, I'm good. All right. So, I don't know, man. Things are crazy. I feel like I'm losing a lot of my audience. I don't know, man. Education, scholarship is the long haul, bro. Really wanting to make a change, helping people is a long haul, Really wanting to grow is a long haul, you know? It takes effort, it takes time, it takes dedication, you know? That's really the only way anything can be done. I was thinking just a minute ago about like how people are afraid of books. They're afraid of books. Well, they're afraid of the book because it has so many pages in it. It's like, oh my God, it's 500 pages. Oh my God, it's 700 pages. Oh my God, it's 1,000 pages. Oh my God, I could never read a 1,000-page book. This is what a lot of people think. But what they're not thinking about is that no one sits down and reads a 1,000-page book. No one does that. No one does that. Okay? What people do is they read a couple pages or whatever a day until they're finished with it. Now, what happens is a lot of people don't finish books, right? Because it's the difficulty in reading the book is, being dedicated to it enough to go back and read it again. You know what I'm saying? So, like, everybody out there listening, do you think you could read 1 page or 2 pages of a book a day? That doesn't sound too crazy, does it? Well, then you just do that every day. Before you know it, the book will be finished. And that's how everything gets accomplished, a little bit at a time. With a bit of effort and dedication, you can accomplish it. It just takes time. So don't be scared of the books. Don't be afraid. Just read a couple pages a day. And then, okay, well, it's boring. Well, scrolling on TikTok is not boring. I'm sure half the stuff you scroll past you don't care nothing about. Zero interest. Reading a book, at least you can choose something that you're interested in, and the book is going to be talking about that thing. So saying that it's boring is a cop-out because there's plenty of stuff you can read. Comic books, come on, man. There's so many different things you can read. Trust me, there's something out there for you. Trust me, there is. I like horror fiction. I used to read romance novels back in the day. There's so many different genres, and comic, like I say, comics, the comic strips, that's different. I mean, whatever. All I'm saying is it's not nearly as hard as you think it is. You're just telling yourself that it is, and it's just the world kind of tells you that too. And then it's just like, it's just a way to keep you mediocre and keep you easily, controlled. People that read books are a lot more difficult to control than people who just scroll TikToks. Trust me. So, do a little reading every now and then. And the thing is, on this show, I like to give people a mental exercise. So if you join the show, then you're going to get a mental exercise because that's what I do every night. Expand your mind and your perspective a bit. Have you thinking about some things maybe you didn't think about before, or maybe from a different point of view that you never thought before or something, So that's what it is. So today's title is Vote Republican, Signs Are Everywhere. Vote Republican. I drive down the freeway. Vote Republican. I'm seeing all of these signs. So I guess it doesn't really matter what the candidate is or what they stand for or what they're trying to accomplish. I guess none of that matters. It's just vote Republican. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So, but what I'm saying is, the Democrats are gonna have a hard time this cycle. they're going to have a tough time because all the Republicans have to say is these Democrats are a mess. Vote Republican. And people look up and be like, man, things are kind of a mess right now. Maybe maybe I should give the Republicans a shot. So yeah, this is going to be a bloodbath this cycle. A lot of people are going to lose. But who knows what's going to happen? I'm going to be following it. I'm going to be following it. I'm interested in it this time. I'm not going to be voting probably. I might vote locally, but I'm not going to probably vote in the presidential election or those, national elections. I'll probably just sit out. But I'm definitely going to be watching and following it. So, and I'm probably going to start getting into the politics a bit soon just to get you guys ready so we can, already know what's coming. And the other analysts, you guys will be able to explain to them. You'll already know what they're talking about when they start talking. Because the presidential cycle Can y'all see me? Fuck, how long have I been out? Fuck, I'm having technical difficulties. Something happened. Oh man, it's still acting crazy. What is happening? Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. What the fuck is going on? Let me try to play a video or something so I can get it back together. We're probably gonna wrap this because I don't want to fucking stay on here long anyway. The fucking computer's acting retarded. What's happening? I hate this shit. I'll buy a new computer. See, my screen is not showing nothing.
Insurrection said Thursday Donald Trump was at the center of a violent conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 election. In a prime-time hearing, the committee revealed Trump's own Attorney General, William Barr, as well as Trump's daughter, Ivanka, thought there was no basis for Trump's claims of election fraud. Committee Chair Benny Thompson said January 6 was the culmination of an attempted coup by Donald Trump, who supported the mob's chants of "Hang Mike Pence." Thompson compared the January 6th insurrection to the ransacking of Washington, D.C. by British forces more than 2 centuries ago.
But unlike in 1814, it was domestic enemies of the Constitution who stormed the Capitol and occupied the Capitol, who sought to thwart the will of the people, to stop the transfer of power. And so they did, so at the encouragement of the President of the United States. The President of the United States trying to stop the transfer of power, a precedent that had stood for 220 years.
Committee co-chair Liz Cheney, one of just 2 Republicans on the panel, revealed multiple Republican lawmakers sought pardons from Trump after January 6th. After headlines, we'll spend the rest of the hour airing excerpts from Thursday's historic hearing. In Michigan, the FBI arrested Republican gubernatorial candidate Ryan Kelly at his home Thursday morning over his role in the January 6th Capitol assault. Kelly faces charges including engaging in acts of physical violence, knowingly entering restricted grounds, property destruction, and disorderly conduct. He's among some 840 people charged over the insurrection so far. In Maryland, an employee opened fire on his coworkers at a manufacturing plant in rural Washington County Thursday, killing 3 people and critically injuring a 4th. Maryland State Police say the 42-year-old suspect then fled the scene, but was later tracked down, wounded, and arrested after an exchange of gunfire that left a state trooper injured. According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been over 270 mass shootings across the United States so far this year. In Texas, the chief of police for the Uvalde School District is defending officers against charges they failed to act as an 18-year-old gunman slaughtered 19 fourth graders and their 2 teachers in May. Pete Arredondo told the Texas Tribune he spent more than an hour in the hallway of Robb Elementary School calling for tactical gear, a sniper, and keys to get inside the locked classroom where the shooter had holed up. Meanwhile, the New York Times reports Uvalde police delayed entering the school even as they became aware that some children urgently needed medical treatment. The New York Times reports 1 hour and 17 minutes passed before police finally entered the classroom. By then, 60 officers had assembled on the scene. Body cam footage reveals one officer said, quote, "People are going to ask why we're taking so long." Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is asking the United States and other allies for the rapid delivery of more heavy weaponry, saying it's critical to the fight against Russia's advance in the eastern Donbas region. Ukraine's military claims that soldiers continue to hold ground in the industrial part of Severodonetsk while battling Russian troops street by street. Elsewhere, Ukraine says 3 civilians were killed and 5 wounded by Russian shells falling on the city of Kharkiv. Meanwhile, A court in Russian-controlled eastern Ukraine has sentenced 2 Britons and a Moroccan to death, accusing them of being mercenaries for Ukraine's army. In Brazil, blood has been found in a boat belonging to a suspect in the disappearance of British journalist Dom Phillips and the Brazilian researcher Bruno Araújo Pereira. Investigators say they're sampling the blood to see if it came from one or both of the 2 men. The pair were reported missing on Sunday while working on a book project about conservation efforts in a remote part of the Amazon that's become a haven for illegal mining, fishing, and international drug trafficking. Dom Phillips' wife, Alessandra Sampaio, appealed in an emotional video for Brazilian authorities to intensify the search efforts.
Why is that happening? I just don't want him and Bruno to suffer. They're in the jungle. There's a lot of cruelty. I'm heartbroken.
The Palestinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has handed over the results of its probe into the killing of journalist Shireen Abu Akleh to the International Criminal Court. Separate investigations by Al Jazeera, the Associated Press, and CNN have all concluded it was Israeli forces that shot and killed Abu Akleh on May 11th as she covered an Israeli raid on the Jenin refugee camp in the West Bank. This week, Secretary of State Antony Blinken was confronted by a journalist over the Biden administration's continued support for Israel and Saudi Arabia after the killing of journalists, including Jamal Khashoggi and Shireen Abu Akleh.
Why is there no accountability for Israel or Saudi Arabia for murdering journalists? It is one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a journalist in Palestine.
I deplore the loss of Shireen. She was a remarkable journalist, an American citizen, as you all know. And there, too, we are determined to follow the facts and get to the truth of what happened to her. No, they've not yet been. No, I'm sorry, with respect, they have not yet been established. We're looking for. No, they have not. We were looking for an independent, credible investigation.
Blinken was questioned by journalist Abby Martin. Following Blinken's remarks, the Biden administration said Thursday Israel should lead the investigation into Abu Akleh's killing. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has met with China's Minister of National Defense. The pair had a brief meeting scheduled on the sidelines of the Shangri-La Dialogue, a gathering of world leaders and military officials in Singapore. The meeting comes amidst tension between the U.S. and China over Taiwan and North Korea, and as the Biden administration presses ahead with plans to arm Australia with nuclear-powered submarines. The United Nations nuclear watchdog warns Iran has begun removing surveillance cameras from nuclear sites, setting back efforts to revive the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. Rafael Grossi, the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, said Thursday the move could leave inspectors unable to detect whether Iran is producing weapons-grade uranium.
What we are seeing is because of the decision that is been announced to us today, is a decrease of the visibility that the agency is going to have about what's happening in Iran. And of course, this is something I deplore.
Grossi called on Iran to reverse what he said would be a fatal blow to talks aimed at restoring a deal to allow Iran to enrich uranium for peaceful purposes in exchange for relief from sanctions. Former President Trump withdrew the U.S. from the Iran nuclear deal in 2018. Iran insists any new deal must include sanctions relief and a commitment that the U.S. will not renege on its agreement a second time. A warning to our audience, our next stories contain graphic images and descriptions of police violence. In Michigan, the Grand Rapids police officer who killed Patrick Lyoya has been charged with murder. Kent County prosecutor Christopher Becker announced the charges Thursday, more than 2 months after Officer Christopher Schur shot Lyoya, a 26-year-old Congolese refugee, in the back of the head during a traffic stop.
His investigation, based on everything he has provided to me, I made the decision to charge Christopher Schur with 1 count of second-degree murder. Second-degree murder is a felony offense. It is punishable by up to life in prison with the possibility of parole.
Video of Lyoya's killing shows Officer Schur wrestled him to the ground, kicked and hit him, attempted to electrocute him with a taser, and pinned him on his stomach before pulling his pistol and firing a single round into Lyoya's head at close range. After the indictment was announced, the Grand Rapids police chief recommended that Officer Christopher Scher be fired. The Justice Department's opened a civil rights investigation into the abuses by the Louisiana State Police after a series of violent arrests of Black men. The probe is focused on white officers with State Police Troop F, a notorious unit in northeastern Louisiana whose officers have mislabeled body camera videos, turned off their cameras during arrests, and otherwise worked to hide evidence from investigators. In 2019, Ronald Green, a Black man, died in the custody of Troop F officers who repeatedly choked and beat and electrocuted him with a stun gun. Another Black man targeted by the white officers was punched, stunned, and hoisted to his feet by his hair braids. Another was beaten after he was handcuffed, and yet another was slammed 18 times with a flashlight. The Wall Street Journal reports Abbott Laboratories was alerted to problems at one of its infant formula plants months earlier than previously known. The Journal reports an Abbott employee filed a complaint of failing equipment in need of repair and potentially unsafe formula back in February of 2021. That's a full 8 months before another complaint was filed by the same person last October, and a full year before the plant was shut down last February. Abbott recently restarted production of some of its infant formulas at its Sturgis, Michigan plant. And the Massachusetts state legislature voted Thursday to override Republican Governor Charlie Baker's veto of a bill allowing undocumented people to obtain driver's licenses. Beginning in July 2023, anyone showing a foreign passport or consular identification document and another form of ID can apply for a motor vehicle license in Massachusetts. 16 other states and the District of Columbia already have similar laws on the books. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org.
The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Fucking technical difficulties earlier, man. Frustrating. Abby Martin. I really want to look that up, but let me read some comments under here first. It says, "Thank you, Abby Martin. You're a true journalist in every sense of the word." They didn't even play any clips of the Abby Martin. She mentioned her that she interviewed the guy, but they didn't even play no clips of it. It says, "I knew that was Abby Martin's voice holding the State Department to the fire. Amazing journalist along with Amy Goodman." Oh, so they did play a clip? I missed it then. I sat here and watched it. Must have zoned out on that part. Well done, Abby Martin. He's as slippery as they come, but what you did was valiant. It's also pretty dangerous for journalists who report U.S. war crimes. Assange. Abby Martin is an American hero, one of the only journalists willing to put her access at risk. What little she has. To hold the powerful accountable. As our society crumbles, stress is on the rise in the country obsessed with guns. We're no longer shocked by mass shootings or growing numb to them and deciding this is just the way life is now. Ooh. What's up, Bruce? How you feel, man?
Yeah, pretty good. How about yourself, man?
I can't complain. Let me read a couple more comments. It says, "The vast majority of humanity lives a burdened life of despair, so a minority may live a life of extreme privilege, or to appear that they're having extreme privilege just because the other ones are appearing to suffer. I think it's an illusion." Let me read another comment. It says, "I'm intrigued to learn exactly how many tours did major retailer Queen and Lauren Boebert give before January 6th. Okay. I apologize if I sound like a bot and hate the USA. Neither is true. However, I do despise what the oppressors continue to do to humanity, no matter the costs and repercussions to this world. Monumental change starts with reflection and solidarity." I think I agree with that. It says, "No one even looked inside the windows of the classroom. I guess people react differently when it affects their lives. They have bulletproof jackets, police. I would have stormed the room if it was my kid." It's easy to say that, though. I want to look up Amy. Let's see if we can find that clip of Abby Martin related to this. 2 days ago, Abby Martin. Oh, that is it. That's the whole thing? Hold on. Or is that her talking? She had to have put something. I'm sure she would have posted something. But they got her freaking censored like a motherfucker too. Is this what she posted? Let's see. I think this is what she posted.
Secretary Blinken, what about Shireen
Thank
Abu
you all. We're gonna let our
Akleh?
panel
She
go
was
ahead and get
murdered
started.
by Israeli forces. Right? CNN just agreed to this. These are your two greatest allies in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and
Again,
Israel. They have murdered American journalists and there have been absolutely no repercussions. And you're sitting up here talking about the freedom of press and democracy. The United States is denying sovereignty to tens of millions of people around the world with draconian sanctions for electing leaders that you do not like. Why is there no accountability for Israel or Saudi Arabia for murdering journalists? It is one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a journalist in Palestine.
I deplore the loss of Shireen. She was a remarkable journalist, an American citizen, as you all know. And there too, we are determined to follow the facts and get to the truth of what happened.
Secretary Blinken,
No,
with all due
they've not.
respect,
No,
with all due
I'm sorry.
respect,
With
it is
respect, they have not yet been
conclusive.
established.
Yes,
We're
it
looking
has.
for, no, they've not. We're looking for an independent, credible investigation. When that investigation happens, we will follow the facts wherever they lead. It's as straightforward as that. That has not yet happened, but it's something that we very much want to see happen.
And we'll have time after
Thank
the
you.
panel, of course, to talk more about this.
Hey everyone, this is one of my first Instagram lives, but I just went to such a weird event that I felt like I had to talk about what happened. Yeah, so for people who don't know, the Biden administration is hosting this massive Summit of the Americas in Los Angeles this week, a huge week-long event with basically all of the Latin American countries that are completely subservient to the US. And of course, excluding all of the countries that it is trying to overthrow actively. So Nicaragua, Cuba, Venezuela, tens of millions of people who are represented by those countries were, are basically erased from the conversation and completely obfuscated. And the entire Summit of the Americas is just Biden's way to just preach this absurd hypocritical rhetoric about human rights and democracy and freedom. And it's just the most hypocritical insanity ever. So first of all, the entire summit has been a joke. It's been very poorly attended. There's been a huge upset with the fact that they barely invited world leaders until like several days before the event started. And also, Obrador, the president of Mexico, actually did not come. He basically said he's not going to come because he was very offended at the fact that several countries were completely excluded from the conversation and not invited. And this is all under the auspices of human rights and democracy and freedom. Meanwhile, of course, as we know, the United States empire is closely allied with some of the most totalitarian regimes on the planet. In fact, its two closest allies. Actually, let's look at every region of the world and see who's the U.S. allied closely with. Uganda, right? Horrific human rights abuser. Colombia, horrific human rights abuser. Sponsored by tons of U.S. money, military aid, huge U.S. bases there. And it is one of the most dangerous places in the world for activists and journalists. So, of course, Israel and Saudi Arabia in the Middle East responsible for killing American journalists. And recently, of course, Shireen and in years past, Jamal Khashoggi. So it's just completely absurd, right? We all know this. So anyway, there was a breakout event at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism sponsored by ASU in downtown LA. And I was lucky enough to go with the Breakthrough News team. Everyone go subscribe to Breakthrough News, check out their channel. They're doing excellent coverage. And they're here for a counter summit called the People's Summit. It's going to be a 3-day event starting tomorrow with 225 organizations that are all representing the people who have been excluded from the conversation. It's going to be an incredible event, and I'm really excited to go. So anyway, there was this breakout event at this journalism school, and I went with the Breakthrough News team. So we go there thinking that it's going to be this huge event, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of journalism students, because Secretary of State Antony Blinken was the main speaker tonight, as well as Luis Almagro, who's the head of the Organization of American States. This is the organization that's paraded around. It's basically a puppet institution of the U.S. empire that facilitates regime change efforts in Latin America. Remember, these people call Latin America their backyard. So that's basically what they think of it. They want to reinstall the Monroe Doctrine, and that was the whole attitude tonight. Luis Almagro, you know, was instrumental in facilitating the Bolivian coup, installing the fascist dictatorship that overthrew democratically elected Evo Morales. And so we were excited to have the opportunity to potentially ask questions to these people. You know, knowing the hypocritical nature of the U.S. and how it talks about how much it cherishes press freedom, but then barely allows any sort of real journalism to take place, barely allows access to any journalists or accepts real question, but we wanted to go anyway and just see, of course, how could we miss the opportunity? So we get there, and there was no one there. It was a complete ghost town. We were totally blown away. We were like, why is no one here? Where are all the journalism students? How is no one interested in this event? It was just kind of like a couple dozen people from different press offices milling around in the main lobby, and me and my friend Eugene and our cameraman were just like, how is this possible? Like, how is no one here? It's pretty embarrassing for Biden. You know, the Summit of the Americas in general is pretty poorly attended, and so it's already being kind of ridiculed in the mainstream press at how ridiculous the event is. So it was already really poorly attended, the entire summit itself. So we were just like really shocked that these two really high profile politicians were speaking and there was barely anyone there. So we were like, okay, this is super weird. There must be like buses of people coming in at the last second that are going to confront these people or you know, just watch them at the very least. Like, what is happening? So the time goes by, there's a couple breakout sessions and workshops, and there's like 3 people like participating in them. And we're like, this is so strange. So anyway, Luis Almagro finally is about to speak. And so we go in the main room and there's barely 30 people there. It was the most pathetically attended event ever. It was shocking. It was really a reflection of just how embarrassing this entire Biden summit is and how much of this was just a complete farce and just a total photo op for these politicians to just say their piece, get the word out, take some photos with the canned journalists who were handpicked to ask them really softball questions and then just get braided out of there. There was no plan to engage with the audience. There was no plan to answer questions. And of course, no plan to actually have a free exchange of information with the journalists that they constantly talk about and use as a foil of like, oh, look, we're such a beacon of free press and democracy. So we're sitting there, and within the first 20 minutes of Luis Almagro speaking, first of all, he's a horrible speaker. He can't even get through a sentence. He can't even explain why he is in charge of the OAS, what he is doing, why he's passionate about press freedom. It was frankly embarrassing. The person who was questioning him was the former editor of National Geographic, and her questions were just so patently absurd. It was just like, what made you interested in free press? Like, why do you like this issue? Like, it was painful, right, to sit through. And so amazingly, a guy from PSL actually gets up in the middle of Luis Almagro talking and does a huge confrontation and just starts going off about the Bolivia coup. His name's Walter. You can check out the video on Breakthrough News. It was the most incredible, uninterrupted disruption I've ever heard in my life. This is coming off the heels, of course, a couple months previous of my partner, Mike Preisner, interrupting former President George W. Bush about being a war criminal. So he got escorted out, of course, immediately. Walter was able to speak for like 4 minutes uninterrupted, went off about all the people who were killed in the Bolivian coup, the fact that Luis Almagro backed the coup, this fascist took over, Evo Morales was democratically elected, all of these municipalities that experienced all the mass deaths, a journalist who was beaten to death in his home. He got it all out there, and still no one was doing anything. So he just started talking about Venezuela. He was like, and then Juan Guaido, why have you recognize this illegitimate leader, Juan Guaido. He's like, it's absurd. It's ridiculous that you still recognize this guy who the majority of Venezuelans don't even know about. And it was just amazing. I was just like, oh my God, how is this able to happen? Like, there was no plan at all about dealing with anyone there. Like, they had no idea. They thought it would just be a completely set up, propped up event, and everyone would just be patting themselves on the back and just bowing down to these people. So eventually, of course, these like Secret Service guys come up and just kind of like pat Walter on the shoulder, like, okay, are you done? Like, please stop talking. And he just wouldn't stop. And so he eventually gets dragged out and he just screams, you are nothing. You're nothing but a murderer and a puppet of the United States. Pretty powerful disruption. Very, very powerful. It was amazing to see that happen. I never thought that I would see someone as powerful as Luis Almagro be confronted about something, so pointed, which is his participation in the Bolivian coup. And so he gets dragged out. Luis Almagro could not get through a sentence after that. At the beginning of his talk, he was so flustered, even just publicly speaking before the disruption, that he actually took out a piece of paper. One of the questions that the moderator asked him, they were just like, so what is this?
Abby, what's up with your internet?
Aimed as like fighting disinformation. All they care about is bemoaning like the repression of Cuba's so-called abuse of free press and journalists, and also highlighting how they need to funnel all this money and resources and efforts into fighting disinformation online. We all know what that means. It means just solidifying the State Department narrative and eliminating voices who are contradicting it. We just saw what happened with all Russia-affiliated journalists. We know what happens with any person who's affiliated with regimes or governments that the U.S. doesn't like. Of course, if you act on behalf of, the narratives of regimes that the U.S. does like, you're completely fine to do what you will. So the whole event was just so strange that it was all hyper-focused on disinfo and Twitter, instead of like, look, there are actual journalists being like assassinated in Colombia, one of the U.S.'s greatest allies, and the fact that an American journalist was just assassinated in Israel like mere weeks ago, and how dare you get up there and lecture. So Luis Almagro can barely get through the rest of his speech. It was extremely embarrassing. He ends up basically getting just barely able to sputter out a sentence after that because he was so mortified, and all he could say was like, he's lying, and this is part of the disinformation that we're talking about. This is why we need to fight disinformation, because this guy brought up the Bolivian coup and it's false, and the elections were fraudulent, and just goes on and on and on. We know that the elections were not fraudulent. There was several conclusive reports that came out that proved that Evo Morales was the legitimate leader and that it was all a farce, right, staged by the OAS. So right after Luis Almagro leaves the stage, Antony Blinken comes on from this institution, the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, sitting down, like they're all prepped, ready to interview him at this round table. And Blinken gets up and starts to give his opening statement about how much he reveres press freedom and how much the U.S. is fighting for democracy and how much it is working to hold countries accountable, like Cuba, where you cannot do journalism there. Oh, but you can do journalism in Israel, right? I mean, one of the most dangerous places in the world to do journalism is Palestine. Anyone who's watched Gaza Fights for Freedom knows that even the UN report from the Great March of Return conclusively showed that Israeli snipers deliberately targeted and assassinated several journalists and permanently disabled several others. This is a very common occurrence, and it is just horrific to hear these leaders go on and on and on and mask this interventionism in human rights and democracy. It is so insulting to anyone's intelligence that knows anything about the true nature of the U.S. empire. So Antony Blinken's going on and on and on. Immediately, me and my friend Eugene Puryear realized that there's not going to be any questions facilitated toward the audience at all. There's not going to be any moment where we are going to be able to ask him a real question. And so we just sit through this really painful statement from Blinken, just so hypocritical, just dripping with hypocrisy. And so, at the end of it, there was just one moment before he goes and sits down with these journalism students that we had, and so Eugene stands up right then and confronts him about Haiti. the fact that, you know, Haiti, they never investigated the fact that the prime minister was assassinated. And of course, the U.S.-backed coup in Haiti and all of these things. And he also brings up the fact that these countries were completely excluded. Were excluded from the Summit of the Americas. And so Blinken just has a very canned response, and he's like, yes, we are very concerned about that, and we're looking into that. It's like, well, this shit happened a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure that you're not looking into shit, dude. Moment that I knew that I could say something to him face to face. And I just brought up Shireen. I was just like, what about Shireen? What about Shireen? I was just like, this CNN even verified that she was killed by Israeli forces. You know, like, how dare you continue to claim that you don't know, that this is an inconclusive investigation? And of course, he gave the canned response that it's inconclusive, that, oh, she's so dear to us, right? We really care about her reporting, this American journalist who was purposefully executed by Israeli forces, that we know. No investigation further needs to be had. We know the truth, okay? And Israel has said that they're not going to investigate further. So how dare you, this incredibly revered journalist, and yeah, Palestinians get killed constantly there. The fact that there's an American journalist and you are actually have the gall to pretend like you give a shit about her life and her legacy. And so I was able to ask about that and of course bring up the fact that Saudi Arabia is also not held accountable. So Israel and Saudi Arabia, the two closest allies to the US, are these despotic regimes that freely kill American journalists with complete impunity. And also the fact that these draconian sanctions are imposed on several countries that for the sheer punishment and the only reason that they don't elect leaders that the US likes. And that is why they are punished in the way that they are. And of course, Blinken just gave me the canned response about how, you know, we were looking into it. We're looking into it. And I was just like, you know, with all due respect, sir, like, the investigation is over. The investigation's over. We know who killed her. Like, this is a joke, you know? And so I just assumed that Eugene and I would get, like, removed, because I think that they didn't interrupt us and they both let us ask a follow-up question because they couldn't, like, with the entire farce of the event being this journalism event, they could not, with good conscience, like, stop us and be like, shut up and sit down, like they probably wanted to. So they just had no choice. I mean, it was like tunnel vision, just staring at Antony Blinken's dead eyes, and having him just lie to my face was just really beyond the pale. And right after that happened, I sit down, a journalist in front of me turns around and she was just like, thank you for doing that. And I feel a hand on my shoulder and I look over and it's Ned Price, former press secretary, who's that wiry, dorky ass dude who's just a super expert in, like, being able to avoid questions. And he was just like, thank you. Like I didn't know if he was, like, trying to get me to, like, walk out, but I was just like, I'm sorry, am I being escorted out or am I, like, allowed to stay here? And I just tried to, like, ignore him and look keep looking straight. And it was just the most surreal thing ever. After Walter did that huge epic disruption, like, all these like crazy armed security came in and started surrounding the place. And so, yeah, we were just like, oh my God, like, what's going to happen here? But I think that because it was this event coined as this, you know, free press event, they really wanted to just, they had no choice but to just, like, let journalists try to talk. And of course, he immediately sat down. That was the only moment that we had to confront him. He immediately sits down and just is interviewed the most absurd softball groveling interview from these three women. It was very embarrassing, frankly, especially after these two real questions were asked. And the whole room, you can just feel it. It was palpable. Like, people were pissed. And I think a lot of foreign press was there just realizing that it was just a complete joke, being like, how is this real? You know, how is this event real? And so these girls were just going on and on and on. The whole conversation was about Twitter and about fighting disinformation. And how could we, like, solidify the State Department's message? Like, literally one of the journalists was like, Blinken, you know, I've been looking at your Twitter feed. Like, how do we, like, get the message out better? Like, how do we combat like the disinformation, aka how could we just like parrot the State Department propaganda better and like crack down on the people who are like bucking what you guys are trying to do, like all the good you guys are trying to do. And it was just like, how is this real? How are these people journalism students? Like, how on earth?
Okay, Abby. She tends to go in circles. But I ain't gonna lie, like the thing is, like I feel her. That's what I'll say. And like screaming at the top of your lungs sometimes, and people not hearing you. Let me read some comments. It looks like they're all in her ass. Let me see. Yeah, they're just all in her ass. Yeah, no real good comments. All I see is, yeah. What do you think, Deuce? Did you hear any of that stuff? I know she was rambling like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it. I didn't. Yeah, I heard what she was talking about, and yeah, I didn't even know that they were going in about this type of stuff. But oh shit, yeah, and they were basically. She was talking about the one journalist who got killed not too long ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we covered that here. And just like what was the other thing? The Bolivia thing, Eva Morales and all that. So, but yeah, man, like I was saying though, I feel her. You know, I'll be wanting to scream like she does. And she's one of the, just like all of the people were saying in the comments, like basically she's one of the few journalists that we have out there. Like even like you can disagree with her or whatever, like she has her perspective that she puts on everything, but she's not scared. Like she goes out there and fucking goes in, like and she's been blackballed from all over the place. And she could be making a whole bunch of money at MSNBC or something like that. I want to say she used to work for MSNBC. I'm not sure if it was MSNBC, but one of those major networks, she used to work for them. And she could be making a whole bunch of money right now and be on TV every night up there with Rachel Maddow or something. But she chose not to. She chose to she's like she all her stuff is independent. That's the only way she can actually do the stories that she wants to do.
Yeah.
They won't hire her. She's not hireable.
Yeah, of course.
That's how it goes. You know, you won't play fair with others. You won't go along with the team. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I've been seeing a lot of signs about Republicans, vote Republican, vote Republican. Have you seen that?
Nah.
You haven't?
Nah. Where you see this shit at?
Everywhere I'm driving, it seemed like on big billboards and shit.
I haven't. Honestly, I haven't seen anything like that, bro.
Yeah, maybe it's Houston. I don't know. Some primaries already happened. So it's election season, man. But yeah, so what I was saying was the Democrats are gonna have a hard time this cycle, you know. The pandemic, inflation, the gas prices, and then Trump is gonna say, "I told you so." And that's going to be real effective. That's going to be super strong. People going to be like, damn. And then you got the people that's going to be like, and they stole the election from him in the first place. He was supposed to win.
Yep.
And look how the country look.
Yeah. that's because Trump wasn't going according to what their deal. They couldn't control him. Because I mean, I personally don't think that if Trump was in office, that we would have the shit taking place like it is now. You know, gas prices at an all-time high. You know, like I just don't see that. You know, and you know, so I definitely understood where this lady's coming from. But my thing is, you know, they don't give a fuck, bro. This administration, the whole organization about free journalism and all, like they truly don't give a fuck. You know, and I think that people need to. I ain't gonna say people need to. I think people do realize that, and I think now people are asking these questions and they're putting pressure. But I just think that we have the wrong people in power. These people need to be freaking, you know, taken down or forced to step down because they don't care. You know, they're all puppets. You know, and they have to stay aligned with the goal, with the plan.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not gonna step out of line against that shit, bro. They already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I
Be
don't
out
think
of
things
there.
would be
They're gonna
that much
Epstein
different.
your ass.
I don't think things would be that much different, though. I think there might be some differences if Trump was in there, but overall, I don't think it would be different because the powers that be are more powerful than Trump. And
Yeah, I mean
they've been planning this
that's
for a long time before Trump was on the scene.
I mean that could be true, bro. But I think a lot of things would not be taking place if he was in office. You know, because they're using this Russia-Ukraine thing to fuck over us here in this country. What does Russia and Ukraine have to do with anything? You know, Russia being over in Ukraine, it should not be the cause of why our gas prices are through the fucking roof. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's bullshit, bro. So I think that you need to. I personally feel like you should look through a more transparent lens and look and just, you know, I don't think that it would be this way, bro. I honestly don't. I honestly don't because even though, yeah, there were shortages when Trump was in office, when COVID first hit, people were in a complete panic and they were buying up things, but the shelves began to come back. Stores were stores had things, you know, like the inventory was coming back. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, Trump loses the fucking presidential election, and then boom, the fucking bottom. It's like overnight, the shelves were empty all
It's
over
just
again.
it's good
You know,
cop, bad cop. They're just playing us. And I think that you guys think that Trump has more power than he does. These damn corporations, bro, like
I'm
they
not
are
saying that he
bullies.
has more power than he does, but what I'm saying is that I believe that he wouldn't allow certain things. You know, don't get me wrong. I think I would be completely ignorant to sit here and say that he did not have his own motives or his own initiatives that he wanted to get pushed through and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I personally think at the core of this guy, he cared about America, America being first. And we see that, and then this is not something that we're just saying. You know, we see that, you know, like the shit from the past, you know, the Democrats, they don't give a fuck, bro. They're pushing this very liberal ideology. They go over and they help everybody else, and they don't do anything for us. They shit on us here. Like it's been that way, bro. Even
I'm
when
t-
fucking back when Clinton was in office. And I mean, I get, but it's just I don't know.
I agree with you. I think Trump really does care. I think he cares about the country. Yes, I'd agree with that. But
You can
good.
still care and do good for your people and still get your shit done. You
Yeah,
know
but
what
the
I'm saying?
system that he injected himself in is already a machine that goes. You know what I mean? He can't stop that machine. He can't redirect it. It does what it does. He can ride it, and that's it. And it's good cop, bad cop. Like when you get arrested, you in the room, and then the one cop roughs you up, and then the other guy offers you McDonald's and soda and shit. They both trying to do the same thing. They're trying to get you to snitch on yourself. They just got different ways of going about it.
Yeah, I mean that too, and then I don't know. I mean, I get that. I get that, but I also feel like that there's people that are in those positions that are people of humanity. They realize like, hey, this is a human being. You know, no matter what the fuck, this is a human. You know what I'm saying? And we can't just do any fucking thing that we want to do to this person. And that's the perspective in which I look at what Trump was trying to do. You know, if you step outside of his rhetoric, if you step outside of the shit that the media was pushing about him, the stuff that he may have tweeted, there was times that I wish he would have shut up, you know, but I still think like, you know, there's like even with the law enforcement, you know, with the cops, bro, like everybody hates the cops. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my thing is, there's still good human beings that are law enforcement that want to see good done in the community. But you know, they're tainted by so many other bad apples, and I feel like that's the thing that takes place when you compare, when you sit back and you say, well, Trump has injected it. Yeah, true enough, he was. But at the end of the day, I feel like he cared a lot more. And I felt like, you know, he would, a lot of the shit that's getting done, the bullshit that's being passed around, the way that they're fucking us over, I don't feel like he would go for that. I think they would have had to shot and killed Trump.
I think you give him too much credit. The machine is powerful, man. It's powerful. So you, all of what you said could be true, and then you know, Trump, the machine just comes and pushes him out the way and does what it does. And I think that's what happened. You see how, you know,
If that's
how
the
the
case,
media
then it
was
happens in
against him.
everything. Then it happens in. If that's the case, it happens in everything. It happens in what you're trying to do. It happens in what everybody else who looks like you, or everybody else who had the same goal in mind. It happens with them too. Is that what you're saying? Like, because
Well, I'm not trying to breed nihilism. So yeah, I get what you're saying. So, and I really do feel like every little thing makes a difference. Everything does make a difference. Every little thing makes a difference because the whole is made up of a group of little things happening. You know, I was thinking about it the other day while I was driving, or maybe it was today. And it's like, you know, what you do matters. You know, you just being alive matters. Each one of us matters, because when you look around at the world and you look at now in the present time, it's all a culmination of all the little decisions that we all make. You know what I'm saying? Every little decision that we make culminates in the present world that we live in. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I believe that you can make a difference. I'm not saying that you can't. What I'm saying is, a lot of people are saying that the gas prices wouldn't be where they are. Maybe they would be a quarter different, maybe 50 cents different. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be nothing dramatic. It would be pretty much the same, because the system, this thing that whatever they're doing is big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you can push against it, you know, and that's why I'm doing this show, you know, and I'm trying, and they've been smushing me. I've been getting no views. I don't get recommended, but whatever. That's beside the point. That, you know, I'm still pushing against it because I believe that, you know, every little thing makes a difference. Every little thing counts. My one view counts. One person watched my one fucking show counts. It makes a difference. I really believe that. So, but what I'm saying is, I just don't think that things would be that much different. It's all good cop, bad cop. Maybe if Trump would have came in not in the Republican Party and not in the Democratic Party, maybe in some whole different thing, then maybe, but not within the establishment. The establishment is established to fuck over the people, and that's how the machine works. And if you get into the machine, that's what you're going to be doing.
So yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but so basically, you know, and don't take this the wrong way, because this is just, I guess this is just my brain and how it works. What I'm hearing is that, you know, in order to do good, you have to stay away from that type of power. You know, you can't align yourself. You can't come in there. You can't try to be like this, you know, this senator or congressman or president, and because eventually what you have is not going to get across. Your good intentions are you're never going to achieve that goal of you know, of what essentially what we talk about in here, saying happen across the globe, across the
or
world.
even just in your district. And it's very sad. Yes,
So
I
how
kind
do
of,
we come? So how do we combat it though? That's the thing, because everybody's fucking talking about it. Every journalist, everybody that we see it. So how do we? So
well, I
what do we
talk
do? Just
about,
continue to yell at them and then hope
well,
that these
money in
motherfuckers.
politics is one of the main things. And actually voting, I mean, like, that sounds like an oxymoron, but voting, because if you get more politically involved, you'll just know more about what's going on, and knowing more about what's going on will allow you to actually make moves that can make more of a difference. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, I'm an anarchist, man. I say burn the fucking system down, bro. The system is fucked from jump. You know, this Republican, Democrat, stir-fry shit or bake shit option that we have is trash. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way that we're going to be able to fix things with this system that we have. The system is broken.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm getting blocked on Facebook. Is that what's happening? Because, see, something happened weird earlier. What happened? We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. It may be on Facebook's end, but oh, that sucks. Anyways, I'm gonna ignore that. It's just like earlier I got something weird happened, so maybe that's when that happened, and they never let me get back on the Facebook pages. That sucks, because that's where I get all my views, is on Facebook. I don't get no love nowhere else, really. That sucks. Y'all suck. Anyways, I done forgot what the hell we was even talking about now.
That's that free journalism working at its finest.
I'm telling you, man. And that's the system, the machine mushing us, like you were saying. And I mean, it's really sad to think that, you know, you can't really make a change within politics. It's really sad. You know, and I love politics, and I'm thinking about being in politics, but I don't think that, I really don't. I think that if you're in the small offices, I think you have more of a shot of making a difference in your community. The small offices, yes, but the big ones, no. The ones that come with budgets and real power, no. Because all that power come with strings. But if you in a small area, like if you like the sheriff of a town, bro, you're the man. Stuff like that, you know. Small municipalities, school boards, railroad commissions. People be forgetting about that stuff. All that's elected. Like I say, the sheriff is elected in a lot of places. So those positions, yes.
That railroad commission shit, you got to be careful, because that's big corporate. You know, when you start thinking about that, that's big corporate, and
that's where you can make
differences.
differences.
So much.
Yeah, they're gonna come for your head. You're gonna have a hard time, no matter which one. But if you, like I say, if it's in a local area, you might be able to slide in there and you can make changes because it'll be on a local level. And they won't be able to stop you because it'll be your jurisdiction. If you're the fucking railroad commission person, and a lot of that stuff is big time stuff, bro. Like you can really make differences in those kinds of positions. Because they handle budgets related to fucking infrastructures and shit like that, bro. Like they can really make some decisions. That's the ones that back in the days that they used to give away to their buddies all the time. You know what I'm saying? The buddy system always was given those jobs, and that's just how it worked. But those people really could make moves. Anyways, I'm sounding like Abby Martin now. I'm going in circles. Let me see what this is. I've been playing this on the screen for a minute, so I gotta play it.
New ones have went. The issue is the mindset. The things is we need to get over the fact that we are single mothers. So we need to start taking full accountability for what we do and what we don't teach our boys. Y'all are so focused on trying to control them. Y'all are so focused on trying to have power over them that you're not teaching them the names that they need to know as boys. And the issue is they're growing up walking around here with freaking emotions and y'all don't care about it. Y'all want to play the victim. The mamas ain't worth nothing, and that's the mother issue. Like y'all, I'm so over the black people who can focus on white people, but y'all can't focus on us. Y'all want to tell them what they're doing wrong, but y'all don't want to accept the fact of what y'all doing wrong. Single mothers are not teaching boys nothing but how to be controlled and how to be in their emotions. Then y'all wonder why they all walking around in dresses and don't nobody want to say it. Oh, well, don't say it because I'm saying it. I'm sick and tired. Ain't nobody else community suffering but ours. White people got it together. Chinese people got everybody else got it together but us. I don't want to hear none of the excuses. Either we gonna change on the outside or things are gonna get worse. There's no reason for him to be dead because somebody was jealous or they got in their emotions. And the issue is at home with the mothers. Get over it. We're single mothers and we gotta start taking accountability for what we don't do. I'm tired of it because I got a black son and let you come harm my son. I'm getting your mama, your sister, and everybody else. Either y'all get it together or I'm over black people. I don't want to hear no black families. Y'all can get away from me. I don't like black people as of now. So either y'all fix it or we all gonna suffer. And that's the fucking issue.
Damn, she about to bring tears to my eyes. The fucking family, the household, man. That's what it is, man. That's the root cause of the fucking problem. And a lot of it is these single mom homes. And they feel like their children don't need a male figure in the house. Like the household is not balanced. There's no balance in the household. And then the stuff she was saying about controlling, oh my God, that's all I see. People treating their children like fucking pets and shit. Like they're so controlling. And it's like they don't want to teach them nothing. They want a little minion. They want a little fucking slave. You know what I'm saying? It's so fucking sad. And they're just, you know, and go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah. I feel like every child needs that male role model in their life, you know, somebody that can speak direct to them because, and I'm not taking a shot at women, but it's been known, you know, that women speak in a roundabout way. Whereas when you're dealing with a young man, a boy, he's having what TD Jakes call he motions. You know, he needs somebody to be direct, not somebody that's gonna, you know, because he walks off, you want to knock the shit out of him. No, you need to speak directly. You need to be firm. You need to, you know what I'm saying? You got to grab his attention, you know, and you screaming at him doesn't work. You can't, you know, and that's why, you know, like I'm a parent, bro, and I realize like you can't yell at your kids all the time. Sometimes you need to be calm and speak. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times they don't get you. If you screaming, they may look at you, but they shutting you the fuck out.
Yeah, they're not. They don't hear you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, and not all the time is it they do something that you need to, you know, like I'm around single mothers. I see it, bro. Like, you know, they little boy get in trouble. That's first thing I'm gonna beat his ass. Not it don't always take that. It just sometimes you sitting down and having a rational conversation, you know, being firm, letting them know where he fucked up at, you know, and that's sometimes that's what they need, you know, but you whooping his ass don't do shit
They
because he
need their
already like
fathers. They need
he
their damn
already
fathers. That the
yeah.
community is saying that it's deadbeat dads. They trying to make out all of us black men as deadbeat fucking dads. Like,
No,
what the
I
fuck is
mean yeah,
happening? I don't
yeah, I
see
mean that
that.
that's true.
I
That's
don't
true
see
too.
that is not what I see. I see it the other way around way more fucking often. And it's so
But you got
fucking
a lot of
sad.
dudes out here too though, bro. Let's be real. You got a
But
lot
I'm
of
talking
dudes out
about the
here too that
majority.
just
It's
yeah, you,
not a majority. Most we you can look at the numbers. We take care of other people's kids more than anybody else. Like we be there. We're the ones that be at home with the kids and shit. Like it's statistically proven. You can look that shit up. But everybody has this perception that is you got a bunch of deadbeat dads. And then you got all of these moms who's pushing the fathers. They're keeping their kids away from the fathers. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's creating this cycle where you have these children who are emotionally fucking traumatized and separated from their fathers and living in an out of balanced household and growing up all fucked up. And now they out here shooting and killing each other. The
but
girls are
what about the
thoughts.
fathers that ain't
Everybody's
trying to be
gay.
there? What about the fathers that, you know, really didn't like the chick, got a kid, you know, and he ain't trying to be there? You know what I'm saying? He out
That's
here
what
doing his thing. He out here in the streets. He out here
people
doing other
always
shit,
say
but I,
that. What about ism? Like I'm saying, that's probably less than 1%. I'm sure it's less than 1%. Now, if you all the circumstances I see around me are the other way around, the mom keeping the damn child away from the father. This is what I see. Like Pat say all the time, you can't argue with what I see. This is what I've experienced countless times. How many single fathers do I know that's in my life that the mom is not around? More than one.
yeah. I'm just saying, bro. Like I said, I feel like there's an issue on both ends. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's some healing that needs to be done on both ends because you know I I, I know of a lot of dudes, bro, that ain't trying to be there for their kids. You know what I'm saying? I was a child that grew up that way. Neither my father nor my mother wanted to be there for me, so I had to ultimately I wound up in the system. They was there for none of us, not just myself. So you know, like I have been around it, so it's like there's healing that needs to be done on both ends, and
But
there's
the
some
pressure
fucked up
should
ass
be
females out here, bro. That,
to put the moms should be like dropping the kids off now. And then you have all these stories where the moms are always saying, oh, they don't trust them, they think that the kid's not safe, they don't trust the woman that he's with or some shit like that, or the kid's gonna get hurt or whatever, you know. And that's and that type of thing does happen, but that happens both on both sides too. But it gets blowed up on the side of the men, and they keep whenever something like that happens, they parade the story over and over and over and over again so that these moms can have an excuse to be like, okay,
I don't
what's
think that shit can really hold up because we've seen too many times where the child is with the mother and the mother is with some fucked up ass dude and the dude you know the dude end up hurting the child. We see that too much.
but that's probably
You know
what
what I'm
happens
saying?
more often. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying is the media parades the story of the thing that happens when it's the father. And the moms are always saying they're worried about their kid being safe. Something's gonna happen to my kid when he's over there. So that's just another excuse to keep the kid away from the father. Like it's a million damn reasons.
bro. If you got me on child support, you're not keeping me away from my child. You know what I'm saying? And dudes need to, a lot of men out here that are paying child support, and this woman is not letting you see your child, and you on child support, you need to run your ass down there to the child support court, whoever it is, and let them know that she's not allowing you to see your child. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
you're right.
that shit, because she can be brought up on
Yeah.
charges for that type of shit. I understand you got people out here, you know, like, especially if you're in the state of Texas. Now, I can't speak for California because I know some people that deal with a different type of beast out there living in California, and they paying child support, and and the mother of the child is withholding the child, and California is a different breed. You know,
And,
them
and
some
you're
old
right.
liberal
You're
motherfuckers
right,
out
Deuce.
there anyway.
But what I always say is, why do we have to fight? Why do they have to make us fight? You know what I'm saying? It's like they say you have to fight for what you love. You know what I'm saying? You have to fight for what you
Say,
love.
man, it's just
But why
it's not
why
an
you
equal
have to be a
playing
bitch?
field. It's not an equal playing. It's not an equal playing field. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, my child is gonna know that I fought for them. That I fought for you. I was at court. I did this. I did that. It's not, you know, because I'm gonna fight because I want my child to know that, hey man, I fought for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you see it so many times where the kids be like, well, why couldn't this happen? You didn't fight for me or this or that?
Yeah,
Say, man, I'm not finna just give up.
But what
I'm
about
sorry, bro.
But what about the drama? What about the effect that it has to see their parents fighting like physically fighting every time they drop the kid off and pick the kid
I'm not
up?
finna go through that. I'm not finna go through that. Like I say, there's ways about it that you can go, like, bro, there's ways, like, we going through the court system. I'm not finna fight with you when I drop my kid. Like I've even seen it where, you know, like literally it was court ordered, you know, where they literally, like, the kid got picked up from from a certain place where there was people around, so the mother couldn't trip out. And if she did, they was dead on her ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And those circumstances be fucked up for both parents, because it'll be really strict ass circumstances where, like, if you're a minute late or you go over a minute over your time, then there's severe ass consequences. Or maybe you got caught by a traffic light or something, and then there's severe ass consequences for either side when it's like that.
I mean, I'm sure that there's ways that you can work that shit out, bro. Like, everything is not that cut and dry like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, I got held up at work, or, you know, if you I'm pretty sure whoever you're dealing with, you're gonna have their direct contact to reach them by cell phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm running a bit behind.
But
Yada, yada, yada,
it
whatever.
doesn't matter. You don't understand. These people, I'm not even talking about the mom or the dad. The mediators in this, they have zero fucking tolerance, bro.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's
they
what I'm
don't
talking about.
they have zero tolerance, bro. They got zero tolerance. The time, if it's like 8 p.m. where the kid has to be there, then that kid has to be there at 8 p.m. period. If the kid is not there at 8 p.m., it's violation.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
What's up?
But
Not much, man. I wanted to come in and because I think a lot of that, because when I started listening, I was hearing some things, and I think that, you know, to kind of add some context is, you know, a lot of that narrative kind of streamed over from the baby, you know, because I think a lot of this stuff started with baby boomers and that narrative of, you know,
the nuclear family and all that.
No, the fathers that did not want to be a part or wouldn't fight for their right for their children. But I think that because of those kids that grew up from those boomers, that made, because I know that the percentage was higher. Now, I always knew, like I had a good father, but I never saw him. I hardly ever saw him. You know, he's a good guy, everything like that. But as far as him playing the role of father was, you know, every now and then. So, but I think that because of that, like for me, I know for me personally, it really was, I wouldn't allow myself for my child to deal with that same thing. So I think that the fathers were better, and from the Gen X and even millennial, because they went through some things that they didn't want their children to experience. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and that's that's my take on it. That's what I kind of saw through a lot of it, because, like I said, I saw a bunch of great fathers, even in the boomers. But that narrative, that's where that narrative began, was from, let's say, the late 70s, early 80s, and then you started kind of seeing those things change, especially after seeing the Cosby Show.
Yeah, because it's like the civil rights era. I think you're right, and because it's not that the amount of fathers in the household changed, though. I think that most the perception of the fathers in the households changed. You get what I'm saying?
Well, and I think that's true too, because I mean, there was a lot of things that happened that changed from the women's perspective, and the things that the women would say. And then the kids, of course, they hear what mama say, and that ends up being law. If the mama said it, then it's got to be true. But at the same time, there were a lot of mamas that was just wouldn't, that was not telling the truth, but because they didn't want to look bad for being the one that was starving the child from their father.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. A lot of times, I think that what it is
it
that
bites them in the ass though when that child grows up and that child start asking questions, and then they start putting two and two together, and then they go back and they ask their mama these questions after their dad then sat them down and explained to them what it was.
Then there was a lot of mama resentment.
Yeah, there's a lot of mama resentment. So, I mean, that's why I say, bro, you have to fight, man. Like, I'm not finna sit here and be like, why do I have to fight? Why? Hey, it's not fair, but it's just one of them things that you have to do, bro. Like, you have to fight and be there for your kids. Like, you have to, bro, because I see it so many times where, like, the woman will take the kids and and do some hoe ass shit, like go move away somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, like that's my child. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the birth certificate, that's my child. Like, nah, you're not finna just take my child from me like that. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Now, if the court system tell me, well, you ain't on child support, it's her child, she don't want you to see, because when you go to court, they gonna say her child. They always put her child. It's like it's not even yours. But at that point, then okay, then But even still, bro, they gonna have like I'm gonna find an attorney, do something, bro. Do what I gotta do, and I understand it's gonna probably cost me a lot of money. But you're not finna just take my child from me, man. Like I can't allow for it to happen.
Well, my thing has always been that there's, no one has more right than the other. So, just because you think, just because you're mama doesn't mean that you automatically get to keep this kid that we both created.
But that's not how they see it.
And I don't care how anybody sees it. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to show me.
Yeah, and then the thing about it is, bro, like the system has realized that there was that division and that divide right there. So you got more and more family lawyers that's exactly what they fight for. They fight for this shit and they're winning. Like they're winning. Like literally winning.
But my argument is, again, and it's everybody makes their own decisions, but the trauma that it causes the children in the fight, you know what I'm saying? That's something to think about too. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if they're young kids, they're not gonna be in the court with you with their mother fighting anyway, though, bro.
They don't have to be at the court to know what's going on. You think they don't know what's going on? And then, like I say, a lot of times this be ugly and it be physical fights.
Would you rather? Let me ask you this here. So, would you rather them not deal with that and see that their father is fighting for them, than for you to wait for them to get older, and then they come see you and they got all this fucking
because
like
that leaves
calling
a
you
mark
a
on them
bitch
too.
ass nigga. Oh, you a bitch. You ain't even fight. You ain't do this. You didn't fight for me. Like come on, bro. I would
I'm not
rather
saying
them
that
see me fight for them than for them to sit here and have animosity towards me, later on in life, because they feel like I didn't stand up for them.
There's trauma both sides. My argument is that's what my argument is. Basically, it's trauma both ways in this situation, in both decisions that you make in this, and depending on how bad the break is and how bad the drama is, it could really, really, really be traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I'm telling you, man. Domestic shit is the worst.
I'm not. I'm not discrediting what you're saying. But
that's what happens when people kill. They kill their kids, and then they kill their wife or husband, and then they kill themselves. This kind of thing happens very often. It's like, and can't nobody. It's over. It's a wrap for everybody.
I ain't gonna take it that far.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't take it that far.
That's some weak shit to me right there.
I'm not gonna die.
But fighting could lead to that.
No, you got to stand in your square no matter what. I mean, because there's going to be times where you're going to deal with ignorant people, period. But just because of what usually happens in court, if you bow down before you walk through the door, you're defeating yourself. So, and I think that's more so what Deuce is talking about, is that a tribe beats nothing but a tribe beats a failure, right? So I mean, it's better to try and lose than to.
I agree. I agree with that completely. I can't even argue with that, really. But you could win the trial and then go home, and then because see, this is your significant other. This is your wife or husband or whatever.
No, it's not. This is somebody you're fighting with. That's not your significant nothing.
Or maybe they were at some point.
That's your significant enemy right now.
I'm telling you, man. They say love and war because that's the ones that could get you the most. But that's my point. That's where I'm leading to, because if they have, like, they're emotionally unstable, they're going through some shit or whatever, and then they do some shit that you think that they wouldn't have never done. Like they got a knife or they got a gun or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you are off guard because you don't think that they're going to ever do something like this. So you can say you're standing on your square, but then they freaking then stabbed you, and you like, you just stabbed me. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone? And then you die slowly.
And I'm gonna pull it out of me, and she gonna get daggered with the same. I'm just saying. I mean, because like I'm gonna tell you, all right, because I mean, this is not something I've never dealt with personally, as far as like any of the fighting and stuff. Like, me and my ex have a really great, relationship. She has I haven't seen anybody give us a dad as much respect after divorce and all that. But I have also seen from other points of view where people, like, it goes like ham in 2.2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? When they see each other, it's on. Like, it's just like it's two pit bulls going at it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know the element is there, but I just feel like when it comes down to it, because I mean, you're right. Like, I mean, things can change, in a flash, but you have to always be, like, try to be as right as you can be. You have to stand on your square, give your side of the story as clear as possible. Don't be no duck. Don't be scared. Like, regardless of, like I said, your moment can always be better than somebody else's. If you put yourself in the category with everybody else, then you're already like you're setting yourself up for a loss.
Yeah. I can't help but to think of the lyrics from a Cardi B song where she's all like, you're sleeping and I'm looking at you and I'm thinking about stabbing you. Talking about you gonna wake up and be like, why you got a knife?
Yeah, but at that point, you're not sleeping with this person no more.
Yeah, hopefully not.
If you fighting for your child, like look, this bitch to try to take your child away from you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. Like, for real, I'll be respectful of you because you're the mother of my child, but that's the only respect you get. You know what I'm saying? I may chunk a few dollars here or there because, like I say, you're the mother of my child. I want, ultimately, I want my child in somewhere safe. So, there's going to be a part that looks out for you because of those things. I'm not going to just be some dumbass nigga. You got, why you ain't asking your baby daddy or the nigga you with? Like, nah, bro. Like, ultimately, my child benefits from it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do my part here or there, but as far as fucking with you on that level, nah.
These things be complicated sometimes.
I'm not even, fuck that. That's a weak dick nigga. Just saying. That bitch, she looked good, and you remember in the days where that pussy was wet, you slipped, fell, everything else all in that mother. You hula hoop. Lazy Susan in that pussy. You better leave it alone. Leave it alone.
What the hell is a lazy Susan?
I have no idea. But
Lazy Susan is what a base of that motherfucker is. One, it sits still and it has that little spinning wheel. I have some green beans. I have a little
Only dudes.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember how them niggas used to break dance? How they head stood still and their body was spinning? That's what you was able to do. You better leave that alone. Hey, you don't need it no way. That shit detrimental to your life.
Yeah. It's always the toxic ones, bro. It's the best. Pat, did you see the little clip that I played that really got us on this conversation? Because I ain't gonna lie, the chick almost brought tears to my eyes.
No.
I kind of want to play it again. Let me play it again then. It's an excuse for me to play it again.
Son, and let you come harm my son. I'm getting your mama, and we don't want to hear nothing about, they need to go to prison. That ain't gonna solve nothing because it's the mindset. Because billions of black men have been in prison for decades and they've all died and the new ones have went. The issue is the mindset. The things is, we need to get over the fact that we are single mothers. So we need to start taking full accountability for what we do and what we don't teach our boys. Y'all are so focused on trying to control them. Y'all are so focused on trying to have power over them that you're not teaching them the names that they need to know as boys. And the issue is they're growing up walking around here with freaking emotions and y'all don't care about it. Y'all want to play the victim. The mamas ain't worth nothing, and that's the motherfucking issue. Like, y'all, I'm so over the black people who can focus on white people, but y'all can't focus on us. Y'all want to tell them what they're doing wrong, but y'all don't want to accept the fact of what y'all doing wrong. Single mothers are not teaching boys nothing but how to be controlled and how to be in their emotions. Then y'all wonder why they all walking around in dresses and don't nobody want to say it. Or, well, don't say it because I'm saying it. I'm sick and tired. Ain't nobody else community suffering but ours. White people got it together. Chinese people got, everybody else got it together but us. I don't want to hear none of the excuses. Either we gonna change on the outside or things are gonna get worse. There's no reason for him to be dead because somebody was jealous or they got in their emotions. And the issue is at home with the mothers. Get over it. We're single mothers and we gotta start taking accountability for what we don't do. I'm tired of it because I got a black son, and let you come harm my son, I'm getting your mama, your sister, and everybody else. Either y'all get it together or I'm over black people. I don't want to hear no black families. Y'all can get away from me. I don't like black people as of now. So either y'all fix it or we all gonna suffer, and that's the fucking issue.
She said, I don't like black people as of now.
Yeah, but I think too, we have to it's because that's not 100% of black people. It's a type of people, and she got to also question what type of people is she attracting into her life? You know, if the only black people that she attracts into her life is, you know, those that she's speaking of, then you know, that's part of her problem. You know, because
what she was talking about, see, it was the guy that one of the rappers got shot or whatever over some stupid ass drama, and she was just saying that the community, it's the moms is the problem. It's the moms is the reason why this thing is happening, and the single moms.
Well, moms are like probably the most important part of the family. So I mean, if she's off, the family is off. You know, that's like no matter how you look at it. But at the same time, I mean, we got to question why. You know, where's the, you know, where is the dad? What's the situation? You know, but there's, I think, a lot of, you know, it's not a. I don't think it's that wide of a problem. Like it maybe it's more of a problem than I realize, because I mean, I like, that's the thing. Like I don't have those type of people around me. You know what I'm saying? So I could be, you know, that you know, delusional, because like I said, I mean, the black people that I know are not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't have that type of mindset. So I don't. So, but yeah, I assume there's got to be a segment. Hopefully, it's not as big as like what she's making it out to be, because it sounds like everybody she knows, like she hates all black people. Like, I mean, for her to say that, like she hates black, she don't, you know what I'm saying? From right now, she don't like black people. Tells me that like everybody that she's around just does not have any good effect on her. You know what I'm saying? Which for me, I could never say that.
Well, it's just her point, what she was saying was that, you know, not taking self accountability. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what she's saying, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what she mean by, you know, I don't like black people because y'all not accepting personal responsibility.
But that's my point. I hear what she's saying. I have to look at her. I look at the whole, you know, law of attraction. Like, if this is what you see, then that's what you are.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, you know, but I think she had a valid point. I really do. And these, she was saying the boys are all emotional. All they know how to do is be emotional and be controlled.
Well, and I get that, because, you know, that I can somewhat, like, I mean, I see the change, but I think that's happening across the board. Like, it's not just black kids that's falling into that. You know, there's, I mean, every race that she mentioned that claims to have it together does not.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that part.
I just wanna go on the record and say, bro, you know, I hear what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't believe, it's not polarized like the black race is. But you wouldn't believe how many shitty white fathers there is out there that are deadbeats, that don't do shit for that. Like, I live in a neighborhood that it's not many black people, and we are friends with a lot of white folks, bro. And I can't tell you how many, like, there's these white dudes that I'm calling the deadbeats. These guys are engineers for Exxon. They travel the country. They make 6-figure incomes and don't do shit for their kids.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the money. I don't think the money really matters. If you love your child, regardless of how much money you make, you love your child. You want to spend that time with them.
The mentality of white men are so different, bro. Like, white
But
dudes,
we
like,
want, look. Based on a study they did, black fathers are the best fathers on the planet. This was something a couple of years back. Like, this is the years, like, they've done this study in the, I don't know, 2000. This 20. I don't know. This might have been since Obama or whatever was in office. They did the study, but at the same time, like that's the thing. Like black fathers are considered the best father that you can have. So, you know, and that's based on their studies. How many people, you know, how long, you know, I think that still stands because, you know, we've gone through so many things and we try to fight against that whole narrative that people have put up on us, that we try harder. We want to be, you know, the father, you know, we want our children to respect us because I think the most of us don't care what anybody else has to say. It's about us and our child and how our child sees us. But most other parents, like they haven't been, you know, like other demographics have not been shot down and talked about and said that you're the, you know, scum of the earth. Well, you know, even while they're saying that, there's surveys coming out showing that regardless of what they tell you on TV and the movies they make and this, that, and the other, in actuality, black fathers is the best father you can have.
That's what I was saying earlier. And but the media tells you otherwise, and then the moms are really believe it. They've taken it on, and that's what I was saying about a lot of moms not wanting the kids to go over there with the dad because they're scared they're gonna get hurt and shit like that.
Yeah, well, but I mean that's also somebody, because I mean that doesn't live in reality, because I mean you know, like I said, but my ex, she knows personally. She's not taking the narrative from the news. Like she don't really watch the news like that anyway. But you know, and maybe that's a good thing because you know a lot of women do take the problems from another woman and make it their own, instead of dealing with what's really right in front of them. Like Kevin Samuels said, was like, look, y'all are living in this whole color purple era as if y'all went through some of this stuff yourself, but that was a movie. You need to get out of it. Like, what man actually put their hands on you? Oh no, but you know, like they never can speak on this man that put their hands on. It's just they live in a narrative and they don't actually try to live with a man because they're so fearful that they're going to deal with what Celie dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's the feminist movement. No, it's not even really funny because it's the feminist movement. It's like hate men. Like, we don't even need men. Just drop them off the earth. They're the root of all the problems.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, the narrative, like the reason why these people are still in power the way that they are is because they have the minds of the people through media. Like, they're telling you, like, there's so many things that is false of what they tell you on the news that when you realize it, I mean, maybe it's too late for you because you haven't prepared yourself for the reality of the world. But these people have controlled you so much that you don't know, like when somebody's telling you something that's real, that you don't know how to accept it, or you get mad because it's totally against what daddy told you on the news.
Yeah. Speaking of daddy, he's talking right here. Let's check this out.
Oil companies. You talk about how they have 9,000 permits to drill. They're not drilling. Why aren't they drilling? Because they make more money not producing more oil. The price goes up, number one. And number two, the reason they're not drilling is they're buying back their own stock, which should be taxed, quite frankly, buying back their own stock and making no new investments. So I always thought Republicans are for investment. Exxon, start investing, start paying your taxes. Thanks. Exxon made more money than God this year. And by the way, nothing's changed. And they're not, by the way, one thing I want to say about the oil companies, you talk about how they have 9,000 permits to drill. They're not drilling. Why aren't they drilling?
Yeah. So what was your daddy? What was daddy talking about right there?
Well, I think, you know, what partially of what he's saying is true, but at the same time, you know, he knows just as well as I do, and most of the people out there know, is that it doesn't cost anymore. Like regardless, like if they got reserves that they're using, it's that costs even less to come up, you know, to use. So why is they charging more? There's no reason to charge more for the gas. Like this is all, you know, like to me, it seems to be more of the tax than, but you know, they're making more profits. So I mean, I guess you have to look at the fact that this is something that they're constructing, period, regardless of what end you're on. Like the price gouge is just happening because it can. You know, like people are going to buy it. They need it. They're so used to having it that they're not. We can't do without it. So I mean, they know that they can take the prices to whatever they want, and we will pay it. I mean, even if it came to $10 a gallon, I mean, we're gonna buy until we can't afford it no more because we're just gonna do what we got. You know, we're gonna try to always give the effort of going, shoot, you know, till we riding bicycles again, or you know, we're just saying the hell with it and just we living on our own little farm, our own little property, and you know what I'm saying, growing and doing everything we need right where we at. That's just, they know this.
You can buy a second.
Yeah, man.
Funny, bro, because I was shopping with my son the other day. We were trying to find him a new first base and glove for first base because his other one ripped. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm in academy, bro. So him and my wife went to go look at gloves. Tell me why without hesitation, I stopped right in the bike section and I'm looking at these fat tire bikes. Like, shit, this what it's coming to. Oh shit.
Ain't no lie, bro. Shit, that don't cost you no gas. I just put some gas in my car today, man. It seemed like I've been putting gas. It seemed like the gas costs more and it's lighter. Like it's burning faster.
Yeah. Hey, I will tell you this. Do not buy your gas in the heat of the day at 12 noon, 1 o'clock. Don't buy your gas at that time. If you're going to buy gas, you need to buy gas like right now at this time.
When it's cool.
Because if you're buying that gas when it's hot outside, you're getting mostly vapor. Because gas expands, the vapor, as it heats up. So don't buy your gas. Oh shit, you riding down the street. Oh shit, it's 1 o'clock. Damn, I need some gas.
See, Deucin got scientific on y'all asses, but he ain't lying though. He's 100% right.
Yeah, buy your gas at night, bro. You getting out for work midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. That's the time to stop and fill your car up.
Man, I did not know that shit. I get gas when it started going on E, so that could be at any time.
You just put what you feel like putting in at the time. I'm assuming so, like you don't fill up.
I used to fill up, man. With the prices the way they are now, it hurts too bad to fill up.
Yeah.
How big of a tank? You can't have no more than, but you drive an Impala, so you can't have that much more
15
than about
18
gallon tank, 15,
I don't know,
18 gallon tank. So
I don't
you should
know,
be spending about $50. And
nah,
I'm gonna tell you something else,
like
bro.
60,
Stop going to these bullshit.
60, 70 you don't have no 60 or 70 gallon tank.
No, that's how much it costs.
Yeah,
Nah, that's because
about
of where you going to buy your gas, bro. Tell them go to Murphy's USA.
$67, I think, something like that.
Go to Murphy's USA, sign up for their member rewards plan.
Yeah.
You save 3 cents, 3 to 5 cents, and then if you go there, like you go there and you buy like chips, soda, you type in your number every time, you earn points, and after you get like 100 and something points, you get 10 cents off per gallon of gas.
Yeah, I get that from
You
Kroger.
know,
Yeah,
I
Kroger
can do
does
you
that
one
too.
better.
Yeah.
You know, you can go to you can sign up for Walmart Plus or whatever, and you can pay $98 for the year, or you can pay $12 a month, and then go to Sam's Club and fill up, and you get 10 cents off every time you fill up just for being a Walmart Plus member.
Or being a Sam's Club member.
Yeah, or being a Sam's Club member if you want to buy in bulk, you know. But
Y'all
yeah,
thinking
bro, like
y'all talking like I'm an organized person. I just said I get gas when I'm about to run on E. I don't be thinking ahead of time to drive to
you stopping
Sam's.
you stopping at Sabib, you know, who owns a gas station with an Exxon name.
Nah, I'll
on the
drive
side.
past those, but it do be stressful though, cause I be on E, so I'm gonna drive past those
Hey,
gas
hey,
stations.
dudes, he go to hurry up and buy Houston.
Bro, you gotta be look here. I'm gonna tell you. I stop at all of the places that I know I get discounts at, like Murphy's USA. I'll go there. Like I say, I can go there and fill up, you know what I'm saying? And usually with my truck has a 18-gallon tank on it. You know, if it's down at the line around E, it usually costs me about $55 to fill it up. And that's using regular gas.
You got to go between the marks of like between half and a quarter. If you go below quarter before you fill up, you asking for it.
Yeah,
and it's not because of the gas. It's more so because of your vehicle. Because I mean, no matter how old your vehicle is, I mean, the older it is, yeah, it's probably a chance that you're gonna pick up more trash. But you know, the health of your vehicle is gonna, you know, stay high if you keep fueling in between that quarter and a half marks, anywhere in between before you get below a quarter.
That's what I usually do. I usually try to go ahead and fill up when I hit a quarter, you know, usually before, right at a quarter or before a quarter. I look at it and I go fill that summer gun up because I spend a lot less and I don't have to worry about being in traffic somewhere or like Chaka trying to make it to work and like, oh, fuck, I need gas. I'm already 10 minutes late. Shit.
Yep, that exactly scenario happened the other day. It wasn't 10 minutes, but I ended up being a few minutes late because I had to stop and get gas on the way to work.
Do that shit at night, bro. Like when I worked at home and I drove local and I was going home every day, at night when I left work, hey, my shit low, I stop at the gas station, go ahead and fill up. That way I ain't got to worry about that because it does suck, you know, when you trying to make it to work or wherever you trying to make it to and your gas light come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But nah, man, that I don't know.
I woke you up. What time is it? Oh, yeah, almost a quarter after. Okay.
Yeah, man, but it's just you just have to I don't know. They making money hand over fist off of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and honestly, that's a big problem, bro. But they're using fuel because that's what people are. That's a trigger for people. But what about the prices in Walmart and Target and like all of the grocery stores? Like, because I'm not taking away from the heat off of just the fuel because it's crazy. But everybody is raising their prices and seeing profits that they've never seen before ever. Everybody is, so he's using Exxon and fuel companies to talk about because that's where people, I guess, mainly complaining. But what about these people? You know, the Waltons that's raising prices every damn where. I ain't seeing no damn rollback signs nowhere.
Shit. Hey man, you remember? I don't drink sodas. No. Well, I don't drink them like that. Anyway, but you remember when they used to have that? You could buy 3 cases of soda for like $12 or $7 or whatever. Man, shit, one case of soda now costs like $7, depending on where you at.
Shit, you about to start spending for Coca-Cola. You're gonna be feeling like you buying freaking Budweiser.
Yeah. That's why now, shit, somebody call if I'm having something at the house and they like, hey, you need me to bring anything? Hey, you better bring you some sodas if you drink it. Matter of fact, bring you a case of water because you ain't drinking my shit.
Oh
I'll
damn!
feed you.
Water is expensive too, bro.
Bring a case of water, $5 at Walmart.
Bro, nobody gonna be
$5.
nobody gonna have a party, bro. This is not celebration time, bro.
Bro,
Like,
the pinch is in. I say it's a recession. But what I was gonna say, the price. Damn it, I lost it. Go ahead, I lost it. It's gonna come to me.
nah, yeah, I'm just like I don't see anybody. Nobody's inviting anybody to barbecues and shit. Like, I don't see it.
Oh, that's what it was. Did you earlier? I played a video where in some municipality, I don't want to say we're the wrong place, but they said that they used up all their fuel budget already. So their non-emergency calls are like they're not going to react to all calls. They're going to try to deal with them without sending people out because they've already used up all their gas budget. So they're trying to conserve. And this is like a EMT service.
What? Nah, that's crazy. I mean, but I'm gonna tell you, bro, like it's not really, that like those are services that, are available but they don't owe you nothing. So that's one of the things like we need to be more concerned about is, do you have bandages at home? Do you have, little like things, aloe, like different things that you can use for, burns and stings and, whatever kind of thing that might come on. Like you might even need to get gauze because bro, like that's like we really need to think of it as like now as if we're in a war because if it's nothing other than a financial war, because I mean there's many kind of wars that's actually happening right now that we're complaining, we're talking about stuff that's happening, but just because there's no bombs over Baghdad happening right here, then it's not really war for most people. But this is all out war that is happening to us right now. The corporations are at war with the people. Our government, I believe, is at war with the people. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you're going to be. Because all these prices, like I said, it doesn't cost any more now than it did 10 years ago to bring fuel to the people. Like, I mean, I remember when I was in high school, it was $1.99 a gallon. Before that, I remember it was like 63 cents a gallon. Like, I mean, it never cost any more to produce gas, ever.
It costs more to buy it, though.
Well, now, but that's because of an invisible tax that they call inflation, or just really like what we're seeing now is just gouging. It's price gouging. Like it's like, oh, okay, look, we've been getting away with, we don't have no few. We're like, we're gonna act like they can say what's available and what's not.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. So, but if municipalities are hurting and they can't do emergency services, that's a really scary situation right there, right? This is America. That's not supposed to happen.
For some people, you know, but I mean, like, it's for a probably majority, because most people never think that, oh, this can happen in America. You know, oh, our government is A1, like this is the best place on the planet. But when you realize they lost their charter and they don't really have right to be here, and they can, like, they don't have any reason to try to keep you as a happy consumer, because they're getting pushed out and others are going to be coming in. Like, bro, it's so much happening. Like, if I was to really like open the door, and like, because I mean, this is ever since y'all been seeing this pandemic, they have been, you know, out of their charter since 2019, and this is the most disruption that you've seen, and the most that they've just like said, oh well, to hell with it, I'm just gonna get all I can get out of this.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm you know, hey, look, I'm the crazy guy. Don't pay attention to me, all right? Y'all guys that's listening, I'm just, you know, I just like to hear myself talk.
Yeah, they been fucking us, bro. And anybody that don't see that shit.
Not well, they have been, but you know, they at least had some decorum. At least they had some, you know, like the fact that, you know, okay, well, what about tomorrow? You know, I'm not gonna just go total evil on these people right now, because, you know, hey, you know, we still got tomorrow. But for them, there is not a tomorrow. Their tomorrow is like pretty much ended. Like, they're only here because, you know, most people, a lot of people want to see them, but you know, they don't want to change. They don't want to see the change happen.
Let me ask you this, Pat. I asked Deuce earlier. I seem like I've been seeing a lot of signs, vote Republican signs everywhere. Have you seen any of that?
No, I hadn't actually seen the sign. I saw that, you know, that's the title of the show, but I don't think it's. I mean, I think that's one way of saying that, you know, y'all need to watch out. Like, niggas, don't be stupid and vote for the same people that's been screwing you all this time.
Yeah, I've been seeing the signs everywhere, and I think that the Democrats gonna have a hard time this cycle.
Well, they should, because I mean, they've been lying for so many years about all the things that they're gonna do for certain people, and you know, there's ones that they must be fearful of, like they're obviously scared of Asians for whatever reason, and they're even smaller percentage of the population than we are. So for whatever reason, they're gonna stand up and do whatever the Asians say, because, you know, they scared, you know. But then for us, it's like, you know, they always talking shit. They ain't gonna really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, I don't know. Like, I mean, they don't take us serious, and they're gonna keep playing with you until you stop playing with them.
Yeah. Power doesn't concede. You have to push them out. You know,
Yeah.
so at some point,
well, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, if I'm to be totally honest, like, I mean, I don't, you know, like, can things be slightly better without them? Possibly, but I mean, are the Republicans really any better? You know, like, are these better people? Like, I mean, I can't, you know, like I said, I mean, these are people who are utilizing the space that they have. You know, they're truly just like, okay, they see an opportunity and they're taking it. So this is, I mean, the Republicans, I mean, they're blaming the Republicans for the fuel. So, I mean, they're taking a chance on these prices being this way. Because, I mean, I don't believe it's, you know, the fuel has really anything to do with a political party. I think it's just corporate greed. You know what I'm saying? You know, whoever is at the top, whether they're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or Libertarian, whatever they are, they're taking this opportunity because that's what the climate speaks of. That's what, like, the government set the stage for people to be able to do what they're doing right now. Because this didn't just happen in 2019 to 2020. Like, this is something that's been ongoing and that has people feeling the way they feel from shit that's been happening since the 60s and 50s, and, you know, like their whole time here, you know, in power.
Let me ask y'all a comment on one more thing I was thinking about. It was I saw there was like lifted COVID restrictions or some shit like that happened recently. And then, but also what recently happened is they approved the vaccine for children like under 5 or some shit. How can
on emergency status? And honestly, like, a lot of the stuff they were doing was unconstitutional. I mean, you know, you can, you know, I guess like maybe they had the right to make some regulations or whatever, but worldwide, the people know the truth or more of the truth now. So yeah, that's why a lot of the restrictions, because I mean, a lot of it was to get inside your head.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's kind of ironic that they approved the vaccine for children 5 and under for emergency use.
For emergency use, that's an important part of this whole calculation. Is not.
But at the same time, they are lifting the COVID restrictions. So is it emergency time right now for COVID?
I don't think so.
But what I'm saying is, if they're lifting the restrictions, then they obviously feel that it's time to lift the restrictions. But at the same time, they're approving a vaccine for emergency use for children under 5 years old.
Bro, they're still trying to get a money grab as for the people that will fall for it.
That's where I was going. That's where I'm going at. That's what my point is. Yes. So, like, what the hell? Like, okay, so the COVID restrictions are done, but you approve. So why would you approve this thing? Well, obviously, because money.
Well, I mean, it's so many conflicting things here that you have to sit back and really analyze everything that's going on. So, I mean, for those who just kind of like get scared and just, you know, react to your fears, I mean, you're still subject to, you know, these people's will, and whatever they tell you, you know, you're under their spell. And that's kind of what they kind of trying to measure too. Who all will still, you know, ride with us? You know what I'm saying? Who still believes us after everything? Like, who's really paying attention? They're measuring that too. So, I mean, you know. So, I mean, it's not really much I can say about that without, you know, going totally left.
It says you don't need a gun. If you're afraid of somebody breaking in, get a dog. Michael Moore.
Shut the fuck up.
It says Michael Moore doubles down on calls for Second Amendment to be repealed.
Because see, I'm gonna tell you, if I got one dog, he only gonna bite one of y'all because I mean, if y'all start coming in mobs trying to break in one house, you got 5 dudes with guns or whatever, you come baseball bats or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like a lot of this stuff is stupid. Like, it's them that's making all of this stuff even happen right now. Like, I don't believe y'all. Like, y'all are liars. You know, all of these shootings just so happen to pop up in places that has a stronghold for democratic ideology. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't trust them. So guess what? Get ready for a fucking bullet in your ass. You come around here. Just know it's not gonna be no teeth. Ain't nobody biting. My dog ain't biting. You know, I'm not biting. No, I'm. You getting some heat in your ass.
These bullets is biting.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you get a dog, don't go get no damn Chihuahua that's gonna be hiding up under the blankets because it's cold. You better go get you a Cane Corso. Get you a couple of them German Shepherds or some shit.
My son just got him a pit.
I don't like those dogs. I spit fire. Like, damn it, I was trying to think of the line, but I can't think of it.
Well, I'm gonna just tell you like this. Just don't.
A lot of people don't like those dogs, but pit bulls are very tame dogs.
Don't come around.
Train them.
Yeah, it's the way people train them. They're smarter than what people think, but that's what a lot of people were using them for, was to fight. But they're actually some really smart dogs and lovable dogs. So I mean, it's on you. But you know, but I tell you what, they can go from smiling and playing to straight on your ass.
They go 0 to 100 real quick. Don't fuck with me.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, just don't come around none of my houses. My mama house. Don't go around my ex old lady house, my new old lady house. No, just don't do it. Because the chances are you know,
gonna get bit in the ass. But it won't be teeth.
Yeah, I might have to wrap it because I got to get up in the morning. Y'all got anything y'all want to say?
Nah, man. I sorry for coming in late because, man, my days and my evenings been full. Got a lot of stuff going on, but you know, I'm still gonna jump in here when I can. Shoot, I totally missed it yesterday. Like, but did y'all came on yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was mostly just me and Deuce all night, I think. Did Doc come in last night? Can't remember. I think it was just me and Deuce.
Yeah, Wednesday, you know, I know it was me and Doc, and but then yesterday, I know I didn't know who was here yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was just me and Deuce. Yeah, and I gotta work a double tomorrow, so I need to try to get my ass to sleep. It's 4:30.
For sure, man. Yeah, shit, my brother's getting up to go to work.
Oh shit! Flash flood in New Orleans.
Wow.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit look like Houston on a Thursday.
Damn.
Just a random Thursday.
Well, that was New Orleans on a Thursday.
That's how it be, man. Shit, if it rained too long, shit. It was a dude when I got caught into the water last time a little bit. It wasn't that long ago. It was a dude from somewhere else. He was like from another country. And he was like, why? Why does it do this? What the fuck? I was like, man, this is Houston, bro. You just gotta stay still for a little while and let the water go down and you're good. Man. Try to move around in this shit, you're gonna have problems.
Say, bro, that's what like one of my reasons for not wanting to live on the south side. Because I mean, you know, I lived in the Northwest, and you know, I hardly ever, never, there was one little section, probably about 3 or 4 miles away, that had issues from time to time. But I don't know, like I want to be close to Houston, somewhat. Because I mean, that's where a lot of people that I know in Texas. I mean, you know, I know a few people around the Austin area where I've been at, but can't really just, you know, jump in and go hang with people I want to, and you know, jump out. That's okay. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff going on with Deuce pictures. His was he? What is that?
He's moving around the screen and shit. He probably just got in the truck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got back in the truck getting fuel.
Yeah, I kind of freaked me out because I thought I saw him twerking a little while ago. It's like, what the hell is going on over here?
Man, I really hope that's something. See, you just put a mental image that I really didn't need to have.
Shit, you tripping.
He must have threw it in his phone in his back pocket with the camera going, and it was like, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even want to ask. You know what I'm saying? That's how it looked to me. I was like, I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'd rather not.
Nah, bro, that was I had the phone in my back pocket. I was stopped to get fuel. Shit, yeah, about 30. Yeah, I got about 25 more minutes. And
that's good.
My day will be done.
That's good. Then I got you to the end this time.
Yeah, man. Man, it stormed like a motherfucker in Oklahoma last night. And that wind was blowing 60 miles an hour. Rain was everywhere. I'm like, God, dog.
And you had to drive through that shit?
Yeah, man. It was horrible.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm gonna have to wrap it, y'all.
Go ahead, man.
I don't know if I'm gonna do a show tomorrow. Probably not.
Today? Tonight?
Tonight, yeah. It depends on how I feel. I ain't gonna guarantee it, but because the Saturday night show be hard to do.
All right. Well, let me know. I mean, I'll check in because
somebody says call me when you get off air. I don't know. Oh, that's a Pat, I guess, because I don't know who this is.
I don't know who Gio is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Yeah, all right, y'all. Peace and love. Y'all get some rest. If I'm not on tonight,
whoever that is, I'm up. You can call me. I don't know what's not really sure who. Oh no, I know who that is. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
All right.
So if I'm not on tonight, we'll definitely be back next week, y'all.
How long ago was that message?
Right now, 4:34.
Okay.
So a few minutes ago.
All right.
Gotcha. Peace and love, y'all. Get y'all some rest. Enjoy life. The pinch is in, so get your damn finances in order too.
Man.
Shit, let me hold something.
Well, I tell y'all what. Look, hopefully your credit is not too far out, but shoot, man, get you some money, somebody else's money if you need. Get things in order. You know what I'm saying?
Buy some shit that you own that they can't come take from you.
I wouldn't go too crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Shoot. But at the same time, something that, because we don't know how long this thing is gonna last. But shoot, you can get just a line of credit, some credit cards or whatever it is, use it. Cause I mean, shoot, the money you got right now ain't yours. So
yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, that's true, bro. That's true. That sounds real good. But look here, they may need a deposit. So I'm going to say it again. Let me hold something.
All right, John.
All right, man. Y'all go ahead. I'm going to holler.
All right. Peace and love.